But up next, we got Damon Williams, a.k.a. the Nomad, who I know from 𝐸 Radio from back in the day. That's my guy. What up, Damon?
What's going on, man? I'm proud of you. I'm watching what you're doing, man. Great job, bro.
I appreciate it, man. Long time no see. I really miss you, man. But I'm glad to see you still working on music because I always love that voice you got.
Man, I appreciate that. I had been away from it for a minute. Had thought about. You know what? First of all, let me say, let me send my thoughts out on Memorial Day to all the veterans.
Yes. Beautiful.
Men and women who've served in the military and lost their lives. Particularly, I want to send a shout out to the men and women aboard the USS Willamette and the USS Jason, and particularly HTC Valdez, who lost his life during that collision at sea. And I was aboard ship that day, so I want to shout out those men.
Wait a second, did you say you were aboard that ship that day?
Yeah, I was. I got sent into the fire. I was a forward firebounder. Got sent in first.
Wow.
And so I want to shout out to them. I want to thank the guys on the platform this morning on Facebook, the Willamette platform, for reminding me about today. I was trying to stay away from things, but they reminded me of how important it was, and I wanted to get on. And I wanted to honor the memory of HTC Valdez. And also I want to send a shout out to my cousin, Mikael, who lost his wife, Carol, and we were dealing with a funeral yesterday.
Wow, wow.
So Memorial Day is quite the day, but that brings me to what I've been doing. Music is therapy.
Wait, one second. With everything going on in your life, I would like to say thank you. I appreciate you for taking time out to do this.
Oh, yeah, man. You had been at me, and I was like, I got to get on, but what am I going to talk about? And then I thought about it, said Memorial Day is the perfect day. I want to thank my shipmate David Albert for reminding me this morning of the importance of remembering and
right.
And, unfortunately reliving it, but remembering
right
and honoring that memory. So that's why I'm here. And
I'm glad you brought that to us then, because it would have been dry without it. I guarantee that it probably would have gone unmentioned. I definitely wouldn't have gotten to it, if I can be honest, and I'm not sure if any of my guests would have mentioned it, any of my upcoming guests would have mentioned it. So I appreciate you coming on to say that.
Yeah, well, most of the time my music has been linked to some cause.
Right.
From Vallejo, when I was involved in the search for Deanna Fairchild, and then I got involved with Evelyn Polk and foster children, and she used my music there. And then when I got to Nashville, I was pretty much I wanted to set it down because it was the causes are heavy sometimes. And a young man lost his life on the streets, and I had to run out and try to render aid, and it was just like, what's the purpose anymore? You feel like, you're singing for no purpose anymore. And then one day I saw a program at the VA. It said, learn to play the guitar. I said, okay. And it was a music therapy program, Guitar for Vets. And it brought it back. I got to do a couple of commercials with Luke Combs, with Ford and Gibson, and in the Guitar for Vets program. So they used one of my original songs in the commercial. So it gave me another boost, and I got daughters who are trying to record and sing. So I find a need to sing again, and I need it for my own therapy. It was important to me. I didn't realize how important just singing was to me until I wasn't singing and performing anymore. When I got here, I didn't know anybody in Nashville. You come from California, here in Nashville. I mean, I knew nobody on the music scene. So it was just sitting here trying to figure out what to do. And did I want to go out here and start over again, pounding the concrete?
Right.
And some things came my way, and the Guitar for Vets program, for one. Then there's a gentleman here, another veteran. I want to give him a shout out. He's with he's trying to start a record label, Granny Sue Records.
Okay.
He's given me a few opportunities to perform for him, and So that's what I'm doing now. Still, I'm back to trying to use music as a weapon.
Right.
Trying to use music as a weapon.
Well, I think you should, and it is a strong weapon. I think it can be
Yeah,
used. I
it
think
is.
it's what got Bob Marley in trouble, ain't it?
Yeah, got you in trouble with it. It can save you
It
too.
can save you too.
It
Yeah,
can save you too. Music can save you too.
yeah, it can
So
save lives. What I meant by getting Bob Marley in trouble is that actually it almost had his life taken when he did a live performance and the music was anti-war, and
yeah,
at the time there was people who needed the war to continue.
needed the war to continue, and Marley didn't want to.
No,
Really didn't want to be involved in politics like
no,
that.
no,
He really didn't. But
no.
that's always been the power of music, though, hasn't it? Music has always had that ability. You can go to the church and see how powerful it was in the church, how powerful it was in each movement that had a song to propel it. And they always try to use a song to propel their movement. So songwriters, poets, artists are important to the fabric of the world.
Mm-hmm.
You
It's
know.
true. It's true. It makes most of the movements that happen in in human lifetime move forward, I'm sure.
Yeah, I mean, we just saw the effects of Kendrick Lamar's performance at the Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
Those that liked it, those that didn't like it. It still sparked conversation,
Yeah.
and so everybody may not agree with your music,
Yeah.
but did you spark conversation? Did you get them involved? Did you make them think? And me, I'm still a reporter. For me, my music is always me reporting what's happening out here.
I
To
got a
some
question
degree.
for you. I got a question for you. As an artist, I feel like artists are usually generally more affected by what happens in the world than your average person. Do you have any insight on why that may be?
Um, I think everybody is in everything on the planet has a function and a role to serve, and the artist expresses for those who can't. Uh, you know, you hear a song and suddenly you go, I can relate to that. See,
Mm,
they may not have been able to write that song. They may not have been able to express it in that manner.
right.
Somebody did it for them.
Hmm.
You know, but I always remind people, I don't care how good a song you write. When my toilet's backed up, I need the great plumber. Nobody wants to hear how
You're a
good I
musician
sing.
about it, right? That's true. I guess that's right.
So everybody has a function. Everything has a purpose. Artists are your emotions, visionaries to some degree because they have this utopia they want to create and see. I wanted to change the world with a song. When I wrote Rachel's Week Before Children, I wanted to change the world with a song.
Right.
And I was foolish enough to believe that you could do that, like bringing down the walls with the trumpet or something.
Right.
And so that's how I viewed music as a way to, I always thought I was communicating with others, but I guess I was communicating with myself. When I listen back now, they're like messages to myself that I was sharing
Hmm.
because I was transforming in what I was thinking. My thoughts are changing. How do I feel about this or that? So I'm just sharing. If someone can relate to it, that's great. But I found that I was really communicating with myself. I was opening up myself, and in opening up myself, somebody else may have found something, but I was really communicating with self. And you share what you communicated with yourself, and that's the scary part too.
Hmm.
That's the scary part because it leads you to criticism. But if you're an artist, uh, you have a vision that you're creating.
Hmm.
So you have to create the vision that you have. Nobody else has the same vision. So when we go and say, "What do you think of my vision? What I created?" They may not like it, but did you create what you intended? Is the question. Did you create what you envisioned? Is the question.
Right.
And so I try to create a thought. I work with a thought or a melody or a feeling. Sometimes I just walk around, I hum something, and then later lyrics will come to that.
Hmm.
Because I didn't start out playing. I'm learning to play these things now.
Right.
Because after I did the commercial, there was all this. Can you come play here? Can you come play there? I'm going. I had just completed a 10-week class when music therapy class when I was given this instrument.
Right.
And that's what Guitar Vets does. You do for those who are dealing with PTSD and those sort of things, you go and you sign up for 10 weeks. You participate in the class and the program. At the end of the 10 weeks, they give you a guitar. That guitar, for a lot of veterans, has changed their everyday life.
Amazing.
Their everyday life. It gives your thoughts somewhere to go. It gives you something to do when your mind is wandering. And you have to focus. It gives you, you have to focus and be present in that moment of what you're doing.
Right.
So, and I guess I was always self-therapy all the time I had been doing music. It was my own way of healing and just expressing it and sharing it. And so that's the great part of it. That's the great part of it.
Right. All right, Damon, it's been a pleasure talking to you. I wish we had more time to talk about more stuff that you're working on. If you, around in the future, I'm doing other type of shows like this more often. Not 80 hours, just a couple hour shows. But I'd love to squeeze you in to talk more because I want to. You have a certain insight that I'd like to talk to about, war and stuff like that.
Yeah, and one more thing, I am working on the 𝐑𝐴 song for his mother. That's one of the promises I have made. I'm finishing up that song. As you know, 𝐑𝐴 was lost to police violence, and so I'm working on the song "Just Another Guy," and I hope to get that finished soon and continue using music to heal both myself and anybody that needs it. Anybody that can find some use in it. But man, hey, I appreciate you. Thank you for having me on and let me wonder.
No problem. It's all good. Yeah, like I said, I want to talk to you more because there's more questions I have to ask. Like I really want to learn more about your process when it comes to making music and stuff like that. But I have to help the DJ set up and then let him run. And then we got a couple of interviews after that. And then we have a live performance and I'm done. I'm pushing up on my last 8 hours.
Hey man, great job. Great job
hours.
to you and your crew.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate that.
It's a great job. And for independent artists such as myself, I thank you for giving me a voice. And thank you on behalf of other musicians who will be on next time.
Yeah, it's truly my pleasure. It's truly my pleasure doing this.